So, okay. Fine. Okay, so let's talk about the problems first, right? So why skipping breakfast is a harm? So I can personally attest to this. So Gen Z, right? It's a very fast generation, and we are also categorized as one of the laziest till now, I guess. So as a personal example, I would say normally when I have a 8 a.m. class, I would never make a breakfast, right? And usually we all work like they said that we drink monsters, or usually I think most people work on coffees, which I think is not a good thing. So as we can already see that many Gen Z students skip breakfast due to time constraint. Mornings are rushed, so early classes. As we also know that UTA is a commuter school, so most people came here from Dallas or Fort Worth, and they have to drive an hour-long drive, right? So what happens usually is that they wake up at 5 probably, and nobody's making breakfast at 5, especially as Gen Z breakfast. And slowly but surely, coffee and energy drinks are replacing meals, which is not a good thing. And to fact check this, we have data from YouGov. So here we can clearly see that most of the people are drinking milk or coffee, and protein shakes are at the lowest part of it. Oh, I think it's somewhere here, below iced tea. Yes, perfect. So some key insights. So something I found from my own personal research is that Gen Z, okay, yes, they are lazy, but it's not like they don't know about their health. They know drinking coffee is bad, but they got no solution because it's all about convenience, right? Because at the end of the day, what happens is, I'm really sorry, and I'm very nervous as well. Okay, so convenience also drives consumer behavior, right? So I can personally attest. So I had 11 personal interviews, and what most of them told me was that they usually just skip the breakfast and drink coffee, tea, anything before any class. And they know that this is not good for their health for long term, but they still do it because they have got no choice. And at the end, it's all about convenience. So let's look at the current product market, right? So the current market, it's not like there's no product, right? There's a lot of protein shakes, but most of them are either fitness focused, like they talked about the lip thing or whatever you want to call it, gym rats. They have artificial ingredients, so most of them have like, let's say, sugar products, fructose, everything else, and limited flavors. So from what I searched, I only found vanilla chocolate, cookies and cream, and let's talk about it. Nobody wants to drink that daily. And what's missing? So this is the white space which I identified is meal replacement focus. So I didn't find a lot of brands, or at least not one or two, leaving one or two that focused on the meal replacement focus. I think so. I think that this is a very important segment, especially in Gen Z, because we have like very, let's say, it's all about convenience to us. So we don't usually cook breakfast or something like that. And normally in the morning, when time is the priority, I think convenience and this matters. Nature ingredients. So as we know that Gen Z itself is very health conscious, even though we don't cook breakfast and stuff, we still like to have products which have a lot of additional benefits. And a lot of these protein shakes, they are sugary, they are very stocky, and they just, let's say, taste the same sort of, and they don't have everyday usability. So what happens is most of these products are placed as in like additive thing. Like I would only take a protein shake if, let's say, they will like, okay, if I go to gym, but they are not placed or perceived as like something that you have to take daily. So this is where the product comes in. So I introduced NutriWhirl. It's a ready-to-drink fruit-based meal replacement, and it has real fruit ingredients. It's quick and convenient because you just have to drink it. There's no prep needed, and it's a complete meal replacement and not just protein. Now, something that was concerned to me before I made this was its feasibility, right? So protein shakes are usually very hard to, let's say, the supply chain, right? Because they need to be refrigerated. It's usually hard to have the things, and whenever you try to make some product with all the real products, usually the shelf life for the product is very low. So something I came is first the smooth blended texture. So my product is not just a shake, right? It's a, let's say a meal replacement. So it has oats in it. So what happens is people usually concerned that will the texture be. So I can personally attest. Actually, I got this idea from my friend who makes a shake every day at home as a meal replacement, and it's actually pretty cool. And he does it. He blends it very well, and there's nothing like that. So I can say it's very good. The second thing is that we are going to use refrigerated distribution, which I think almost every protein shakes does it. So the product has a, let's say, bigger shelf life, so it can be supplied to a larger space. And this is the cost which I was came to. It's not the final cost, but it's something I approx up to. So the cost I took here was from real life ingredients I had in my home. So my friend has all these products like milk, fruit, whey protein, and all the stuff at home. He just makes it. So I just took some amount from all of them and just made some cost. And the price itself. So as I talked, right, that I had like interviewed 11 people. So this is the price range that most of them were comfortable paying with, and any more than $6, and nobody was ready to pay that much for a protein shake. And this is my product line. This image is generated by AI, but this is something I think the product should look like because I gave him some of the prompts. And as they talked about, right, that most of the protein shakes have like limited flavors. You don't want to drink that every day, like cooking again. No. So the classic banana, strawberry, apple, I think most people love it. But other than that, as we know that Gen Z are health oriented, right? So the antioxidants are. Now, something interesting about this is if you search for blueberry protein shake, I think you will only find one protein shake throughout the market, which is by premium protein. Other than that, I think there's nobody doing it. I'm not really sure why, but I think adding real fruits, which my friends also does at home, adds benefits. And I think as Gen Z is health oriented, it will definitely take. And the tropical flavors, which I think I love the mango. And something more to target more people among it, we also have the vegan line with the almond milk base. And what I can say is I have already tried 7 of these flavors and they were pretty good. So, and I have tried the almond milk base and it was actually pretty good. And yeah, the taste was great. So my go-to marketing strategy. So now, why does this matter for me? So as we know, the protein shake market is already pretty filled, right? There's a lot of competitors, Fairlife, Premium Protein, and I think it's not easy to place yourself in front of all those competitors. So why the distribution channels matter? So the first is college campus stores. I think this matters the most, and this as well, vending machines, because Gen Z usually when they travel to colleges, they don't even have time to buy stuff from outside. So usually when they show up at college, they can buy the product at campus stores and vending machine, which has the lowest service thing because you just have to replenish your product and they can buy it directly. And I think both of these options provide you with a pretty flexible thing with Gen Z because it's about convenience, right? So it's not like I have to be there to market it or something. It's just like, okay, they need a snack, they have vending machines outside, they can just buy it and drink it, and it's like a meal replacement for them. So they are also energetic throughout the day. And something, well, it's gonna be there for every protein products, but I think gyms and fitness centers are gonna be one of the target markets. And down the line, I would like to be it direct to customers. Now there's some concern around it because protein shakes usually at least the one I make it has a small shelf life, so I have to work around it. But at least hopefully, if we work around some time in it, I think we'll figure something out for that. And yes, so the marketing approach, I think it matters a lot. So usually when the market is so crowded with all the protein shakes, this matters a lot. So the first is social media. I think social media plays a pretty much key role in every day in each and every product's life, as I think more and more people are getting online and social media. I think it plays a very vital role. Now the second one is important and it's influencers. I think there's a very thing going on about people following influencer, especially in gaming community and every other thing, that whatever gamer buy, everybody's buying. Oh, okay. Yeah. And student embassies. And something I thought came up with is on-campus sampling campaigns. I think they are very highly successful. I don't know if you have heard of it, but now market it's also a good thing. So I think if we could take let's say those opportunity to turn our product into success, that would be great. And the grab and go breakfast positioning, it's not a thing like that, but it's more about percepting. I want to place my product as not a protein product, but more like a meal replacement thing. So Gen Z can work throughout and just have a shake and be full for. And let me tell you, it does fill you up for the whole afternoon. So it's great. And yeah, this is why my product win, because it's a real life problem which I'm solving, because it's a problem which I face. I'm pretty sure it's the problem many of you face, and I think it also combines convenience and nutrition, because it's not just about protein, but it's all about the whole meal replacement. And it differentiates for competitors because we have a lot of fruits. I'm pretty sure they will just be with vanilla and chocolate forever. And it's scalable and market ready. So this is not something hypothetical. I drink this daily now, and it's something buildable. Yeah. And that's it. Thank you.
If investors gave you a lot of money, would you change your distribution strategy?
I think no, not really. Because I think my primary targets are still college students and probably long commuters or people who are going to job. But I think people who are going to job are still inclined to make a breakfast, but at least college students or at least people in my life are not gonna make breakfast or anything forever. So I think targeting people to campus stores and vending machines will still be great. But if I were to do it, I would probably do it. I would change not all of it, but some of it, and try to target market segments out of my area, and probably commuters who are trying to go to long day working, let's say 10 or something or something.
Nice presentation. Appreciate the product. Like your use of fresh fruit in the ingredients. I'm curious, you identified the issue of needing a meal replacement. How is this product specifically a meal replacement?
Like in what sense?
Well, for instance, so it's a shake.
Yeah.
Right? There are many shakes out on the market, right?
Yes.
I can drink a shake and skip a meal, and it would be a meal replacement, right? Yeah. So how is this different from those things? Is this high caloric counts that satisfies that need? I'm just trying to understand the place. Because, for instance, I will drink a protein shake in the morning.
Yes.
I have that instead of what you identified. I'll drink a protein shake, and that's my meal. I'm hungry a little bit later, so is this something that's going to satiate that throughout, and how does it do that?
Yeah, so, well, if I can answer that, I can answer that with a personal example. So, let me tell you. So, I'm an international student, and I had 8 AM classes. I would never cook. And I saw my friend doing this once, and I was like, why would you just drink a shake? It will never fill you up. Well, that's what my perception was. But once I tried it, so I think what's different about this product than others is basically the use of real ingredients, I guess, because he used to have a bigger shake container and whatever it is, but he also used oats. So I think oats itself are very fulfilling, and I think most of the protein shakes don't use that. And you see all these protein shakes in the market, they're pretty thin and all that stuff. I think making it natural and making it like a thick shake with oats and stuff, it's gonna make it pretty fulfilling and make you full, at least throughout the afternoon.
Okay, great, thank you. One other question. If I understood, this would be a refrigerated product?
Yes.
Okay, so you would need, when you come into stores, into your college campus stores, and you would need to be in refrigerated sections. Yes. Vending machine? Or do you all have refrigerated vending machines?
Yeah, the refrigerated vending machines.
Okay, great. Do you know anything about the distribution? Is it difficult?
So I did search it. The part is that it's not difficult, it's costly. Because refrigeration takes a lot of energy, money, and the supply chain gets harder because you have to maintain the same temperature throughout the travel time of the product. So that's why on the scalability part, I wanted to start it from can first. So if it's smaller, it's I think easier on the part, but yeah. But it's costlier, I guess.
Okay, great, thank you.
I can't tell. Okay, there it goes. Great presentation. I thought you addressed a lot of things that weren't mentioned. Distribution, wow, so impressed. I had the same questions they did. Channel had the same questions they did. Focus market had the same questions they did. Having worked in an industry that did refrigerated food, and looking at your product, I would say you kind of missed the center. And you missed the center because a convenience store. What percentage of people in Gen Z attend college? How many of them skip breakfast if they don't attend college? So even if you focused on Gen Z, I know you don't know the answer, but I'll tell you the reason it's a meal replacement is because oatmeal, she's going to know this up there. Oatmeal is a glycemic stimulator. It helps you hold your blood sugar longer so you don't get hungry. So I did have a question, but they asked most of them. So I guess I don't really have a lot of questions because they piece into it. Yeah, I think I was very impressed that you even talked about feasibility. You talked about it from personal experience. Yeah, good job.
Thank you.